Today's meeting, the committee decided to lower the target range for the federal funds rate by a half percentage point to 4.75% to 5%.
9月中的联准会货币政策会议之后，主席鲍尔宣布降息2码，全球经济市场都为之震动。
Even though other central bankers often say that they don't follow the Fed, they often implicitly have to.
而联准会调整利率就是货币政策，因此受到影响最大的就是美元的波动。
If interest rates are high, relative to other countries, the dollar is appreciating. Why is the Fed followed so broadly internationally, globally? Because the actions of the Federal Reserve Board, they're not just limited to the US. They have a spillover effect in other parts of the world also. There's some saying that when the US sneezes, emerging markets catch a cold. And some countries are dollarized. So those countries will feel an even bigger impact.
美元的波动影响使用美元交易的国家，专家就直指新兴国家受到的影响最严重，主要就是这些国家的外汇交易通常都是利用美元。
If you look at foreign exchange trades, all of those trades are done mostly in US dollars. And wherever there is another currency, its share is relatively minimal.
联准会还提供不同国家的央行换汇交易，提供暂时性的换汇协议，及时对市场挹注美元来增加流动性。
If the ECB needs dollars, what are their options? They can go to a swap line, or they can sell the US Treasury securities that they own. You'd rather not have everybody selling their US Treasury securities because they need dollars. You'd rather have some other option available to them, like a swap line.
这种换汇交易的方式可以避免货币的剧烈波动。目前大部分的换汇都是使用美元，但包括欧洲以及中国大陆也建立了类似的换汇交易体系，与超过40个国家合作。
China does have its own swap lines, and it has built a very broad network that is completely in parallel to the dollar system that we all have been relying on for several decades.
中国大陆积极想透过去美元化来减少冲击，尤其是对出口方面的影响，因此在积极推动人民币在国际的使用。
The flood of EVs that we see coming out of China is a direct result of the fact that China has become debt saturated and can't use its previous growth model to just increase investment, increase leverage. If they're following this growth model, then they have to rely more on exports. At the same time, the other side of the dichotomy is that they want to internationalize the renminbi.
尽管根据去年的统计，全球贸易使用的货币只有 4.3% 是使用人民币，跟 23% 的欧元以及 47% 的美元还有很大的差距，但在俄乌战争之后占比快速增加。
Another thing I'd say that's happening is this movement towards central bank digital currencies. EU1 is an example of that. Can any of these replace the dollar? Certainly not in the near term. But at the same time, I would say dollar assets used to be somewhere about 70%, and they've declined from 70% in 2000 to now 60%. So you see some chipping away happening.
虽然目前有多个金砖国家扬言要去美元化，共和党总统候选人川普也因此放话，要对这些不愿意使用美元的国家大幅提高关税。但专家认为，目前要接棒成为各国外汇存底的关键货币还没有脱颖而出，美元的地位仍然是难以取代，这也让联准会的决议影响范围比想象中还要大。TVBS新闻综合报道。